Hello everyone, it's Ari May here, and this video I am here to talk about my WrestleMania predictions for this evening. It's April 3rd, 2016, and I am a huge wrestling fan. If some of you know, some of you don't know, but I'll post this little picture here real quick so you could all see my tattoo that kind of indicates anytime anyone sees it, they're like, oh, okay, well, I can tell she's a wrestling fan, so here it is. As you can see, I have a WWE tattoo behind my right ear here, and I've been a huge wrestling fan since I was a kid, so this video I'm going to talk about my WrestleMania predictions for the evening. I'm going to skip over the pre-card matches because pre-card doesn't really interest me and it takes up more time in the video. So, yeah. First match I'm going to start with is the... Which one was I get? Oh, the handicap match, the New Day versus League of Nations, Sheamus, Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, and King Barrett versus Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E. This match, I see the New Day going over the League of Nations, getting their big WrestleMania moment finally. The WWE's been so behind them and seem like they're pushing them to the moon and back. And they recently turned babyface, and so I see them getting... I know they have a big entrance plan for WrestleMania, so I have a feeling the New Day is going to finally get the WrestleMania moment this year, which they are more than deserving of it. They've been one of the more entertaining aspects of WWE over the last year and a half, 2 years, however long they've been together. So yeah. Next match I'm going to go with is, which one was I going to start? Oh, the Intercontinental title ladder match. This match I have a feeling will probably end up opening the show like it did last year, and it was a pretty decent match last year. This year's match is full of a lot of stars who are willing to take big bumps. The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, a lot of stars who are willing to take the big dives and big bumps and all. And I mean, this match is full of a lot of guys who aren't really doing anything on the unlike the roster right now. WWE doesn't really have any plans for, so they kind of just threw them all in the match. And then there's a lot of guys like Zack Ryder, who Zack Ryder's been I've liked Zack Ryder for a long time now, but ever since he won the U.S. title in 2011, they kind of just shoved him back down the card. And he's been in NXT for the last year and a half, so I don't see that people like him, most of us know, aren't going to win. There's always a few who have hope for him. And it'd be pretty cool to see them get a WrestleMania moment, but there's more in the match, others in the match who deserve it more than they do. So there's two in the match I think really only have like a chance of winning, and that would be Sami Zayn, who I think is gonna have a big part in the main roster. Not saying he's gonna be a main eventer, but you never know. He's an awesome wrestler, so I feel like he's gonna have a big part in the main roster for years to come. And of course, Kevin Owens. Out of those two, I see Kevin Owens going over and retaining over everybody, giving him his big WrestleMania moment. Since he debuted last year, he's been one of the more entertaining aspects of WWE TV. He's a great worker in the ring. He is great on the mic. He's entertaining with whoever you put him in a ring with. He could pull out a decent match out of almost anybody. So yeah, I think him and Zayn are going to have a decent rivalry over the Intercontinental title. WWE's been hinting at them rivaling over on the main roster. So tonight I see that unfolding. So yeah. And then next match, of course, my favorite of the night. I'm looking forward to the most. It's not very high up on the card, but it's one of my favorites, of course. You can see my AJ Styles shirt here. So, of course, it's going to be AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Sorry. Light was a little, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I am so excited for this match. I have been a huge Styles fan for as long as I can remember. And I was a big fan of his in his early TNA years. Followed him all throughout TNA when I started watching TNA when I was maybe like 7 or 8. And then just following him all throughout there. And then when he left and went to Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, wherever he was at, I tried to watch him. I always caught the matches. And if I couldn't watch him, I always found a way to watch him later on. But yeah, I've been a huge Styles fan for a long time. He's one of my favorites of all time. He's arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. And, of course, he's up against one of my other favorites of all time. He might actually be my favorite of all time, Chris Jericho. I am a huge Jerichoholic. Been a big Jericho fan since I was a kid. And when I woke up this morning, I couldn't decide, do I want to put a Styles shirt? Do I want to wear a Jericho shirt? But I was like, I'm going to go with my Styles shirt for today. Got it at Raw in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago. But, anyways, get back to the match. Got off topic there. But this match, I think, has potential to be a very, very high up match of the night, maybe one of the matches of the night. They're both good workers. They are both phenomenal on the mic. The build-up's been good to this match. I have loved this feud since the second Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble, and the next night on Raw, he faced Jericho, and ever since they've just been building up this WrestleMania match, and I am so excited for it. It's just, I love Jericho and Styles. They're awesome in the ring, so yeah. It was hard for me to pick who I thought would win this match, because like I said, Jericho's probably my favorite of all time, and Styles is one of my favorites of all time, not far behind Jericho. But Jericho has a reputation of putting stars over, whether it be at WrestleMania, like Fandango at 29 and Punk at 28, or whether there's just a superstar on pay-per-view or Raw or SmackDown. Jericho has that reputation now of putting other stars over top of himself, which is awesome. And I think Styles is going to go over tonight. I don't know, like I said, it was hard for me to pick who I wanted to win this match, but I'm going to have to go with Styles. If he finally gets this WrestleMania moment, and like I said, Jericho has a reputation of putting everybody else over, so yeah, I see Styles going over top this match, going over top. And next match, it's a match I'm not really excited for. I'd rather see it on the pre-show card than the actual card. I'd rather see the U.S. title match or something like that on the actual card rather than this one, but I'm talking about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And, I mean, the last few years it's been not one of everyone's favorite matches. Like, last year it was on the pre-show, and I'm pretty sure that didn't bother too many people because it's not a very exciting match. In 2014, WrestleMania 30, Cesaro won, and it ended up being not bad of a match. It was just, at first it was too chaotic. There was 31 men in the ring, and just way too chaotic. But this match, I don't really have a picked winner because, like I said, I honestly don't care about the match all that much. So I didn't care enough to try to debate who I want to win or who I think will win. But I know there's 4 or 5 spots left, so I'm going to talk about some of the surprise entrants we could see in the match. I'm going to start with the one that's most likely, and odds are has a very good chance of happening, and that is the Wyatt family. The last 2 years, Bray Wyatt has had a very high up spot on the card. At WrestleMania 30, he faced John Cena. Last year, he faced The Undertaker, for God's sakes. So, I mean, and this year he's not on the card at all. So, I know WWE has big plans for him after WrestleMania. Sorry, hair's really bothering me today. Anyways, I know WWE has big plans for him after WrestleMania. But I know Luke Harper's out, so there's only 3 of Wyatt right now. But I could see Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, and Bray Wyatt all coming out for the match. And, yeah. So, I could see them all being surprise entrants and possibly one of them winning. And another one, this one probably isn't very likely, but you never know. I don't know if any of you follow like Wrestling Inc. or like anything that's going on, any like other wrestling news sites, but I saw they shared one of John Cena's interviews from this week, and John Cena said that he's cleared for the ring. I know John Cena and Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was just like, why wouldn't you even guess that? You never know. John Cena's done everything in WWE. He's done Money in the Bank, won 2 Rumbles, main event to numerous WrestleManias, faced some of the biggest stars of all time. So yeah, but anyways, John Cena said he is cleared to compete 100%, so he is just waiting for the call to work. So I have a feeling Cena will be at WrestleMania in some sort of fashion. This is just my guess as to one thing he could do. And WWE could just throw him in there and say, oh, another accolade for John Cena and something else he's done. You never know. Probably not going to happen, but like I said, if a miracle happens and actually does happen, I could say, I guess that. So, and the last one is Cesaro. He's in town for WrestleMania 32, but you never know. He's been out for a while, and I don't know his time frame to return, but you never know. He could return tonight, so you never know. I'm going to move on now to the Triple Threat match for Divas title. And I'm actually really excited for this match. We've all seen this match coming since all 3 Divas debuted from NXT last summer. We all saw this match. We all knew this match was going to happen eventually. And I'm glad they made it for WrestleMania. This match could go a lot of ways. And I think all the 3 Divas are more than deserving of this match. Even if you don't win, you're on WrestleMania card. You're competing for the Divas title. It's just like, it's awesome. Win, win, win. But, like I said, this match should go one of 2 ways. Sadly, I think Becky Lynch is going to be an afterthought in this match. She's a great worker. She's great in the ring. She's very talented. The fans love her. But I think she's going to be an afterthought in this feud, only because we all know WWE's leading towards Sasha being the face of the division for how popular she is and how much the fans get behind her. And she's very talented in the ring, puts on good matches. And, of course, Charlotte the champion. But 2 ways to think this match should go. The first one is Sasha gets her crowning moment at WrestleMania, gets the Divas Championship, takes it off of Charlotte, and takes her rightful place, top of the division. Or this is just my opinion here. The next one, but the next one is, I think, a little more likely to happen, and I think should happen. Sasha Banks is obviously one of the most deserving people on the divas on the roster of the spot she's on her way to getting, but this is just her first title shot, so I don't think they should give her the title right away. Like, let her and Charlotte build up a nice feud, because they have potential to have some really decent divas matches. So I could see her doing some crazy move on. Sorry, battery percentage popped up. Anyways, I could see her doing some crazy move on Becky, and then Charlotte stealing the pinfall and Charlotte retaining, and then that'll get more heat on Charlotte, and that'll get the fans more behind Sasha than they already are, which is crazy. I think it could be possible, but it is. So, yeah, I think that Charlotte could easily retain and steal the pinfall on Becky, and then their next one or two title matches, that Sasha could finally get her crowning moment. She'll get some revenge. She'll get a bigger pop from the crowd whenever she finally does get her championship. So, yeah, like I said, anything could happen. That's just my opinion. A lot of people won't agree with it. Some people will. But like I said, alrighty, well, I didn't want to continue this in part 2, but I'm going to have to. So, see you on part 2.